Yeah, we're out here between 4th and 5th Street on St. Nicholas, and I'll give you a look at what's going on here. There are hundreds of volunteers all over the city helping clean some of this debris that we've been seeing in the streets, those large trees, people putting stuff in trailers, large mechanical equipment that's putting into the back of the trailers as well. You've got tons of volunteers from all over, a lot of them from outside the Eureka area. In fact, I'm talking right now with Elizabeth Burden, and she's connected to this house right now. Elizabeth, you've been out here this morning. How's the cleanup going?
It's come a long way. We were kind of restricted this morning. We were in a kind of area where their Westar was still working.
Sure.
So we had to avoid the lines still. But we've come a long way. We've got a lot of the debris, at least in a pile. We started piling stuff by the road. So we're kind of just now waiting on the skid steers and the loaders to make it here. Otherwise, I feel like we've made a lot of progress.
Absolutely. Now, I talked a little bit about how there's tons of volunteers out from here. You said that people have shown up, you don't even know who they are, they're helping you with this cleanup process. What's that like?
It's really neat. I kind of had told you about how through Facebook, you can see people coming from other places, like our schools that we play against. So like Caney, Bluestem, I've seen those two schools specifically trying to get groups together to come out here. So it just kind of warms your heart and makes you feel like even part of a bigger family.
Now, there are some things that are still needed out here. Obviously, volunteers are always wanted if you can come out and do that. But what else are you looking for? What else do you need here in the cleanup process?
Well, since people are having to move out of their homes, we need storage tubs for them to put all their belongings in, boxes. I know the community building is asking for desserts for the meals because they have the meals provided, meat and everything, but they don't have the desserts. So if you live around the area and just want to make some brownies or something, that's probably good too. But the storage, I know the storage containers are really needed.
And how is it, overall, how is it going? Do you think it's going quickly or not? I mean, as far as what you've seen in the rest of the community, I know it kind of spans a big distance, but what you've seen here in your neighborhood, how's it been going?
I feel like it's going very well. It's just, right, like I said, Westar is doing an amazing job. So the areas that they were able to get to yesterday, those have been cleaned really well. And it's just everybody's making their way up. My husband's in a loader somewhere right now, and they're just working their way up the streets trying to get to everybody. So it's just a little bit at a time, everybody just working together. And I mean, everybody's out here working, and that's just what we do. We've done this 2 years ago, so I guess that's just how we do it.
Absolutely. Well, I'm so glad you and your family are safe, and thank you so much for chatting with us. We'll have more coverage throughout the day here in Eureka on Eyewitness News, so stay with us. Yeah, we're out here this morning, like you said, Mark, here in Eureka, and the line for the volunteers is still pretty long. It's wrapping around the building. People have been kind of constantly getting their ID cards so they can go out there and help clean up some of those trees and some of those limbs that are on the streets right now. I'm here with Nicholas Thorpe. He came out here to help with that process as well. So, Nick, you've got your hat on, you've got your boots, you're ready for this warm weather. Mark has been talking about the heat that is going to be hitting us here while we're doing this. What precautions have you taken besides the hat this morning, and how are you going to stay cool out there while you're helping clean up?
Well, the biggest thing is staying hydrated, and I brought iced water, and I understand that the people who are the liaison officers are going to make sure that we're hydrated throughout the day, and they're feeding us at lunchtime and this evening. But the main thing is staying hydrated with this heat, keeping a hat on. I've also bought bug spray just in case, and some sunscreen, you know?
Absolutely. Now, you're going to be taking breaks out there too. I know a lot of times you can get dehydrated out there. You may not even notice it. So are you going to be kind of pacing yourself out there this afternoon?
That's the plan. As you can tell, I'm not the youngest spring chicken. So yeah, I'm going to be pacing myself. But I'm going to also try and do as much as I can today, because there's a lot of work that needs to be completed today. So yeah, but that's the main thing. Keeping my energy up and taking breaks when I need to, but I want to work the whole day.
Oh, for sure. Now, you're here from around the area. Why are you out here today? You said a friend texted you and said, we need you out here, right?
That's right. I was away all day yesterday. A friend of mine, yesterday morning, we had a conversation. He asked me to stay away from the town. The sheriff was basically saying, unless you've got urgent business, stay away from Eureka. We got Westar, it was pandemonium yesterday, and I had to be away on business anyway yesterday. But when I got back at 9 o'clock last night back to my farmhouse, and I looked at all the pictures, I immediately texted a friend of mine who was just north of the school, and I thought he might have got hit, and he's got livestock. My first intention was, if he's got livestock and he's got problems, he can move all his livestock to my farm. I can look after them while he's repairing his place. Obviously he'd gone to bed by the time my text got through to him. And this morning I got a text from him at 6 o'clock this morning and saying, no, fortunately we didn't get hit, but Nick, we need you in Eureka because we need some volunteers. So I said, well, look, let me do my farm chores and I'll get over as soon as I can. So that's what I did. About an hour and a half later, jumped in my truck, and here I am standing in line.
Well, thank you so much for being here, standing in line, along with all these other great volunteers out here to come help with that cleanup effort here in Eureka. There was some that was lined up already before 7 a.m. That's when check-in was. About 9 a.m. is when they're expecting things to start getting underway and people going out there and start that cleanup process. We'll be out here and also be live at noon to show you all of that coming up on Eyewitness News.